Hey David, so earlier you were talking a little bit about the history of fruit production in the Ozarks. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay, well, what I know of it is that, as I said earlier, um, up until 1915, and I can't say how much earlier than that, that really started to be like this, that the Ozarks was essentially like California is to the rest of the nation, was to the eastern seaboard in terms of fruit production. And that train car loads would be traveling during in season from this region to the east, um, carrying enormous amounts of fruit for export.
It's amazing.
And something happened. I think it probably had to do with probably monoculturing and probably the diminishing of the biodiversity of the seed stocks, or something happened. But up to that point, the fruit simply didn't have disease to speak of. And it apparently had an amazing capacity to last in storage. And old timers have told me, who actually grew fruit in those days, uh, well, uh, in the old days, and had some of the original trees, that the fruit would just keep in the root cellar and
Wow.
keep and keep and keep. Something happened, but disease came in, and that's probably, along with tremendous changes in the whole agricultural economic system, basically took that away. But remnant orchards exist all over the Ozarks. Old trees. We had a tree nearby us, an original homestead. One year, we went out and we picked a huge crop of absolutely perfect apples. There was not a blemish on them. When in prior years they had been very blotchy, nonetheless delicious. But it was just a phenomenal thing. And there must be tens of thousands, if not trees, but also old orchards that are still alive and have invaluable rootstock or grafting stock or whatever.
Just today, Eni found a pear this year in our neighbor's field, and I guess their grandparents had planted it. And like you're saying, this pear is hardy. There's no blemishes on it, and they said that their grandparents planted it. So we're definitely going to take some scions. It's very exciting.
That is, it's truly exciting. I mean, and I know a person whose name is Guy Ames. He lives in
Yeah,
Arkansas.
Ames Nursery. We buy trees from him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Guy lived up here for a while and worked at the Missouri Fruit Station up in Mountain Grove. And he worked as hard as any human being can work, with as much intuition and skill as you can ever muster, I think, to grow fruit organically.
He did a good job. We have many of his trees, and they are very strong.
And I don't know if he, as the last I talked to him, I don't know if he'd really gotten to that holy grail of the organic production, but it's very hard. But he, for one, has made the most heroic effort that I know of. But it used to be all that way.
Very
And
cool, David. Thank you for sharing some
sure.
thoughts with me.